Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Big NL episode. We got some Dodgers, Padres. The Mets are killing it. On the other side, are the Blue Jays good? There's a lot of ball. Let's yuck.
Taylor Rogers.
Strike three.
Out. You're out. Yeah.
I don't see that. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek, code Talkin 2025. I am Jake Storielli. That is Trevor Plouffe. Bobo's producing his butts out. You're getting another wonky night up, people. It's the night is dark and full of terrors. Me and Trevor are going to be bringing that energy all episode as we dive into this week's games. Coach, how are you?
You know how I'm doing. I talked to you before the show. I'm flustered right now.
Yeah.
I am absolutely getting roasted on my social media for like no reason, like whatsoever. And I think that's the biggest thing that's getting me right now. Dodgers fans are just all over me. I've also been called a Dodger glazer. So like the world's not real.
Yes.
Like I'm on that for sure. Like it is 1,000% flat circle simulation, and I am spinning right now. I'm caught in a blender, Coach. But other than that, I'm great. I can't wait to talk some ball with you. There was some good series. I'm stoked what the Dodgers are doing. I get it.
Right.
But I mean, position players pitching, I don't like it. It's my opinion on my show, and whoa, people are just not happy about that.
Maybe at around the halfway point, we start planning you, me, Cole Tucker's cult together somewhere in Montana, something like that.
I told you, I'm going dark soon. Like it's just, I'm going to be off. I'm going to read you some of these tweets, and it's just going to be hilarious.
Okay.
Can I do one right off the rip, or is that?
Do one. Why not? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like I told this one girl that I think she might be AI just because the way she talks and like the shit that she's talking to me. And then this one guy just said, "Did not have Trevor Plouffe being as soft as a marshmallow on my bingo card, but here we are."
It's crazy.
I'm like, am I soft?
You're one of the toughest guys I know.
Am I soft? Would this guy, I'm not going to say his whole name, would this guy Josh say that to my face? Like he wouldn't.
I don't think so.
But here we are.
I don't think so.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I am soft today. Maybe I'm a little sensitive, guys. How about that?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, tell me something.
I love you. You're a great guy.
I don't love you right now.
I know you don't, and that's crazy because it's not on me, pa. Let's talk baseball before we get emotional at this.
That was the one I read. That's a very nice tweet, basically.
Thank you for the nice, mean tweets. No, the internet's real. Nothing's real. Never mind. Know what's real? National League Baseball.
Get into it, Pop, please.
Let's talk ball, dude. And we are starting out with the sweep or be swept Diamondbacks. Josh Naylor, walk-off grand salami. You could see him in downtown Scottsdale. And the Snakes went on after that game one to roll them up. The Seattle Mariners, ever since I tried to put one foot on the boat with them, things have gone horrible. They're sub 500 right now. Erod with a nice start for the Snakes. The Snakes have gone sweep, get swept, sweep, get swept. I think 4 straight series now that they're living in their own personal hell. I guess Snakes alive again, but I don't know. Another fun one in the National League. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies, and they needed it, man. They were down in a bad way, and they come and they get that first game in 11 innings. Brandon Marsh with the walk-off RBI. And then, after losing the second game, I see you, Ian Happ, 2 homers. Get that man his wine. Baby Jesus drops a good start, and he needed one. 6 innings, 1 earned run for the Phillies to get back on the winning side of things. Speaking of needing wins, is this the Hank Aaron rivalry? Atlanta took 2 out of 3 from the Milwaukee Brewers. Another bread meat game. If you don't know what that is, then I don't know. You haven't been listening to Talking Baseball. The Braves won the bread games, the first and the last. Bing bong. Chris Sale is back to Cy Young form, and so is Spencer Schwellenbach. 9 innings pitched. That's a complete game. Some people don't know that. Outduels Chad Patrick in that one. Ronald Acuna Jr. is playing really well. Hasn't really helped the Braves yet. Weird. A team I hope we talk about a lot is coming up at the end of this. But first, we have to talk some Dodgers Padres. How's it here, Dalty? I mean, this game, I guess we already talked about a little bit in the midweek because we had the position players pitching, which Trev is still getting into internet fights about. But maybe it paid off because in that final game, Ben Kasparius had 4 innings in him that helped lead them in a big Teoscar homer to take the series there. The Nationals, they got swept by the Mets. Dude, the New York Mets cannot stop. I think that's 6 in a row. It's 15 out of 18. Quick math. McNeil walk-off. There was a bunch of John Boy media people in the building. JM Mets, they're a mighty little bunch. Mets are 27-7 at Citi Field. MLB best record, I don't know. Giants, they take 2 out of 3 from the Rocks. They couldn't get the sweep down. They had a nice comeback win in one of these games. Willy Adames with a couple positive games. He hasn't been going for them at all. Orlando Arcia with the Rockies walk-off. Where were you for? And then Marlins Pirates, man, I don't know. Honestly, the Pirates took 2 out of 3, and we'll talk about these teams as the trade deadline comes. I know some people don't like it, Trev, but that's who I be. And the biggest thing of who I am a Best Western Road Warriors. It's time for Road Warriors, brought to you by Best Western. How about the Toronto Blue Jays in the Great North, Trev? Are you kidding me? They sweep the St. Louis Cardinals. 2 birds fly in different directions. I'm not talking migration, people. Blue Jays are killing it. 22-10 over their last 32. That's best in the league as they take care of the Cardinals, and you're getting some Alejandro Kirk later, people. That's what happened in the National League.
You're so good at this, Papa. You're so good at this. I know you're tired, too. I want people to know. I have the standings, but I want people to know that as we are recording this, there are still 3 games going. Orioles, Tigers, Royals, Yankees. And then, so that's not going to affect these standings. And I guess Astros, White Sox won't either. So the National League standings are going to be legit right here.
Boom!
The Mets in the NL East are absolutely rolling. You're right about that, Jake. They're 45-24. That's 21 games over 500. They're 5.5 games ahead of the Phillies, who are only 10 games over 500. 39-29 for them. 30-38 for the Nats. 29-38 for the Braves, and 25-41 for the Marlins. We'll go to the Central next, Jake, your favorite division, where the Cubs are 5 games ahead of the Cardinals. 41-27 for the Cubs, 36-32 for the Cardinals, 36-33 for the Brew Crew. Cincy, 1 game over 5 at 35-34, and the Pirates bringing up the rear, 28-41. Out west, the Dodgers. Do I love them? Do I hate them? Nobody knows, ever. Nobody ever knows that. 41-28. They're a game above the San Francisco Giants, who are 40-29. The Padres, 38-29, only 2 games back. And then the Diamondbacks, treading water like you're talking about, 34-34, right on the nose, 500 there. And the Rockies haven't done this one in a while. Holy shit, Rockies, you're 13-55. I think that's actually like better. Yeah. It's a lot better than where you were, but still crazy to see. We'll go to the wild card now, Jake, because that's what we're doing now. Currently, San Francisco Giants have the number 1 seed in the wild card, a game above the Phillies, who are a half game above the Padres. On the cusp, Cardinals 2.5 games out, Milwaukee 3 games out, and Cincinnati 4 games out. And those are the standings in the National League.
My guy, I told you I loved you before. You didn't say it back, and that's fine. Let's talk ball then. Great standings though.
Appreciate that.
In our National League. Hey man, we could do Snakes Mariners real quick for me. Mariners are just flying the wrong direction. I know we haven't gotten the American League standings yet, but they are the same team as the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim right now. For the Snakes, man, I feel handcuffed. Like I keep thinking the light bulb is going to come on, and then they blow one. And in this one, I think they blew a 4-run lead in the 9th of the game they walked off, which, again, you walked it off and you won. But the Diamondbacks' problems seem the same, but maybe Erod can be a solution. We kind of don't talk about Corbin Carroll enough, 5th in home runs. I need them to get clear 500 by a while, especially in the NL this year. and they haven't done that.
No, they haven't. Both these teams come in with like super struggling starting pitching. The Mariners going to the last game had a 5.05 ERA, which ranked 27th. Or this is since May 24th. Excuse me. Ranks only ahead of the Phillies, the A's, and also the Diamondbacks. So both these teams have been struggling to find starting pitching as of late. Great series for the D-backs. They are getting back into it, kind of more of who we expect them to be, but the starting pitching isn't doing well. Justin Martinez possibly is going to have Tommy John. I don't know if that's confirmed yet. Maybe, Bobby, you can look that up. I think they're waiting on a second opinion. Obviously, that's not good for them. Shelby Miller will continue to close games out. Good for him. Like, Shelby Miller's been around for a long time, dude. And
that's one of your guys, Trev.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he's just like closing games out for the Diamondbacks. Like that's fun. I like when pitchers stick with it and find different roles. Shout out Reed Detmers with the Angels. But yeah, I mean, look, I want to give snaps to the D-backs for the sweep, but also the Mariners is what is you doing, baby? Like we can't do this again, right? We can't do this song and dance again where we're not scoring runs. Now our pitching isn't performing. We're getting an all-time historic season from Cal Raleigh, but nothing to back him up with. And if you're a Mariners fan, you have to be incredibly frustrated. And if you're a Diamondbacks fan, I don't know how you feel right now, so let me know, because this is, again, it's been a mixed bag of results for you. You mentioned sweep, get swept, sweep, get swept. It's a roller coaster right now. And Mariners are doing this, but not in a fun way, like on a roller coaster.
No. It's already happened again to the Mariners. They're under 500 right now, which is just insanity. For my Snakes, Gino Suarez hits his third grand slam of the year already. He just passed Maglio for the third most homers via Venezuelan. We love that. Will he be a trade piece this year? And then the other one, Trev, I was watching this game live, flex. Randy and Rowdy both fouled balls off their ankles and did the whole limp around. The trainer came out to look at them, and then they each homered. It was just weird baseball stuff. And you
texted me as soon as that happened.
It was another reminder to me, Trev, and we haven't said enough for the people. You guys know your teams better than us, because I didn't see that in other games because I didn't watch every other game. I'm getting caught up how I can, but that's one of those beautiful baseball moments that I'm glad I got to see that one live. So
I'm happy for you.
Happy for us.
I think we got to talk Cubs Phillies a little bit here, Coach.
Then do it.
Very happy for the Phils, as they're fighting some stuff right now. I think you're going to talk a little bit more about Luzardo later, but that was something I wanted to bring up. But you got him locked down there. Obviously, a really good start for him. Bounce back. But bread games for the Phillies. I was watching on Monday as they won in the 11th when JT had a beautiful swing. I believe that was first pitch in the 11th. Just drove a ball to down the right field line, got on second base. And then we get two perfect bunts in a row. Or no, JT did not go to second base. Excuse me. He got on first base. We have Bryson Stott bunt. We got Otto Kemp bunt. And then we have a beautiful, walk-off base hit. I think that's what it was for Brandon Marsh. Just quality baseball right there for them. Cubs get the second game, but as I mentioned earlier, Luzardo comes back and twirls a gem for them. I think it's a momentum series for the Phillies, if you will. I think, especially playing the Cubs, been playing pretty good ball.
Yeah, I guess it more so stop the bleeding. I don't know if the Phillies have momentum, but they came in 5-game losing streak, and dude, we actually joked about this on the midweek a little bit. Like, if you're the Phillies, what do you do? Hey, Otto Kemp gets the call and gets his first, second, and third career MLB hit in that first game that they end up winning in 11th. That, dude, it's a long baseball season. You need stuff like that to happen. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to turn into wins yet. There's some fun stuff on Luzardo. But man, a couple of the supposed powerhouses, I think nobody's selling Philly stock, but the Mets are also running away.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies offense just really needs to get going. Prior to that last win, they lost 10 of their last 12. They were in those games, Jake, they're outscored 71-38. And a lot of them, a lot of the problem with the Phillies over this span has been like the lack of power. Just a ton of like singles hitting. We're not seeing the slug, the extra base hits out of them, and that's kind of like their formula. They're not like a let's rope 3 singles together type of team, although they did that in that first game. But
right,
they're more based on power and hasn't been showing up lately, and it showed.
That Schwarbs guy. Trev, you know what? Maybe we did this because they're being mean to you online, but Dodgers Padres, I'm a little surprised we didn't start there. But now I'm happy because why don't you guys back the hell off? As the Dodgers take 2 out of 3, and we did the whole position. You know, Kike's out here throwing innings, people, not an innings.
But I also, it's not. This is not a knock on the freaking Dodgers. They're doing what they need to do.
Right.
I know how many pitchers they have on the IL. I understand the game they considered out of hand already, and they're playing a bunch of games in a row, and they need to save their pitching. I understand that. I played baseball for a long fucking time.
Oh.
Okay? Like, I understand what the Dodgers are doing. I just don't like it personally. I don't think it's good for the game. Okay? And you want a solution? Expand the rosters, get more pitchers. Have your pitchers pitch. There's my solution. We keep expanding the rosters. Let's do it so we have no position players pitching. How about that? Keep a long guy on your roster because that used to be a thing.
Right?
Keep a long guy on your roster instead of having everybody try to throw as hard as they can, max out every single time. How about that? There's your solution. Can we do that?
I'm in.
Sheesh.
Trev, maybe even have you seen in hockey when they have like the emergency goalie in the stands?
I don't want that. I want big leaguers on the team.
I know. But
put an extra spot. Make it 27. Make it 28
Trev,
for all I care.
You shouldn't have to apologize for wanting to see pitchers in the sport that every play
Dave
starts
Roberts
with a pitch.
Did the right thing. They had to save their pen. Kasperius started the last game for them. I understand what's happening, people. I get it. I watch ball. I know ball. I don't like it. So, that's all there is to it. Dodgers, great job this series. Do I like you? Do I hate you? Nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever know. Great walk-off. Pages is doing his thing. Not only is he raking, but he's playing an incredible outfield as well. Yeah. He puts them ahead in the 10th. Tommy Edmonds gets the other knock in the 10th. They end up winning that game. That was awesome. They got their butts kicked in game 2 and then came back and won. Kasperius with a nice little outing there. 4 innings pitched for him. Only 1 earned run. And, they're playing the Padres 7 times over the next 10 days or whatever the hell it is, or they just played them. And it's a nice start for the Dodgers. I'm happy for you guys.
Padres had some opportunities in that final game, bases loaded in the 2nd and 7th, and don't take full advantage. And yeah, that Pages throw you showed, 99 miles per hour, tied with Kevin Kiermaier for the Dodgers' fastest outfield assist. How do you like that? People forget Dodgers Kiermaier, not us. We know ball, people. Back the hell up.
God, dude. Maybe I am soft. I don't know. In my old age, I'm getting soft.
Internet.
I got to get off the internet, bro. But I'm trying to do some. I'm just trying to interact with people, and then it's just we put out one social clip, and I just get nailed with it, man.
Hey, man, what's becoming a recurring segment? The MF and Mets, dude. They sweep the Nats again. We've been given snaps for our Nationals, and yeah, these young guys are studs. Mackenzie Gore. We've got a ton of players from the Soto trade on the field. I think in one game there was 6 out of 8 players from that one trade. Dude, maybe the biggest story in snaps for Soto is looking a lot better, and he looks like Juan Soto. I'm shocked. David Peterson goes complete game. Good for you, kid. Complete game shutout. Kodai Senga, who again is leading the NL in ERA, ends up pulling his hammy pretty good. Alonso with not a great toss, and he's going to be out for, the full hamstring length of time.
Yeah, that's no good for them. But hopefully that's I guess a 2-month thing is probably what I guess. If it's a really bad hamstring strain, you got to let it heal. Then you got to build yourself back up. I'm assuming maybe 6 weeks. Maybe we'll give him a 6-week. You hate to see that, man.
Tough.
You really do. But the Mets, as you mentioned, they've been absolutely crushing it. 16 of their last 20. They're 21 games over 500. Pete Alonso going into the last game, had 20 runs driven in over his last 10 games, which is like a club record. I believe it tied Piazza. He's got a Well, he just broke, I believe. Did he get on base today? He did. He's got a 20-game on base streak. Like, he's doing it, man. And Juan Soto starting to heat up too. This looks more and more like the team that we kind of expected them to be, or most people expected them to be. I left them out of the playoffs, so maybe I don't know ball. But they're firing on all cylinders right now, Jake. They look great.
That was the scary part early on. Like, the offense wasn't going. It was just Pete, who, by the way, is going again. But yeah, Soto is clicking. Brandon Nimmo with a couple big games. That top half of the lineup that we thought would be fierce is now being fierce. And their pitching is like the best, which, again, I know casually like the new Brewers, it's the best.
Yes.
Golly.
Good for the Mets, man.
Let's go Mets. Trev, I'll be honest. Anything you've got on Braves, Brewers, I don't want to say I'm okay, but I'm kind of okay. I
think you got to stop saying Schwellenbach's name like that. I do love it, Jake, but
okay,
the guy's a dog,
right?
Like, I know you're not really being disrespectful.
Yeah, it's not a reflection on the player. It's just, I don't know, if you met a CPA with that name, you might talk like that behind their back. I don't know.
I love it. It's funny to me. But
I don't even know what
that guy was nasty.
If I'm being honest. What's that? That's an accountant? CPA?
A CPA, I think, is an accountant, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it stands for.
I'll find out.
Yeah, check that out.
Certified public accountant. Boom!
Yeah. You crushed that. Two great starts for the Braves. One in this series. I mean, you get Chris Sale going 7 innings pitch, 1 run. You get Schwellenbach complete game on 105 pitches. I think the last pitch he threw was a 98 mile an hour fastball. Like, he's dealing. It's great. The Braves win this series. They stopped the Brewers team that was playing really, really well, and the Braves have not been playing well. You mentioned how good Acuna has been since he's been back, but they haven't really had the wins to show it. And I don't know, man. I hate using this again, but like, maybe this gets them going. You go to Milwaukee and you take 2 or 3 and you get pitching like this. Maybe it gets you going, because they do. We came out and I talked about the Braves roster kind of like being an issue, but they still have a ton of talented players on this team. They just haven't really been performing up to standard, and they haven't obviously had the wins. But maybe this gets them going. Also, Milwaukee, they called up their guy Mizorowski, and they moved Civale to the pen, and he's saying, I want to trade. That's news. Hey, which I agree with him. Usually I don't like that, but like, he's been a pretty decent starter this year, and he's going to enter he's entering free agency, so it's like, obviously he wants to continue to be a starter.
Hey, in Brewers, I don't know what you need, but I know there's about 15 teams that need starting pitching, and that's low. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like, good for you, Civ. Like, let's figure this out. Get me somewhere else. That's going to be an interesting one to watch, and because it is tough. Civale, like, he doesn't necessarily have the pull that you might expect from a trade demand, but maybe he does. Maybe a golden elbow will help.
Robbie just put in our chat that they announced it on Civale's birthday. Been there, bro.
Yeah. What was that, the A's or Tampa?
A's, yeah, DFA'd me on my birthday. It's okay. I had one last hurrah in Miami with the boys before it all went down.
Woo! God, when were we booking that trip? Trev, let's go to the AL, dude, because I'm sorry. Giants, you took 2 out of 3 from the Rockies. That's underachieving. And Marlins and Pirates, I got no.
Did we talk about Blue Jays, Cardinals?
A little bit. I guess I have more to say about it later, so I'll let you get into it. The Blue Jays, though, bro. Blue Jays might be real.
Blue Jays are rolling, dude. They're doing everything right now. They need to figure out the back end of their rotation, because they really don't even have like a 5th starter. And Bowden Francis,
Civale, welcome to Toronto.
Civale, hey, Eric Lauer, who's been kind of like a bolt guy for them. Like maybe he steps into the rotation. Whatever it is, they're looking for that. And they're starting to knock the ball around up and down the lineup. They played a little bit of small ball in this series. Get them on, get them over, get them in type stuff. It was it's a big. The Cardinals are a good baseball team, a fundamentally sound baseball team, and the Blue Jays played fundamentally better baseball than the Cardinals in this series, and that has to feel really good for them. So shout out Toronto. They're 4 games back your Yanks. Like,
they're in the mix.
Not where I expected them to be in the AL East, man.
Trev, they're currently the top wild card team in the AL, like by a 2-game gap. So there's a lot of ball being, but this season could have gone on without Toronto in the nicest way. Like, we could be talking Vladdy trade rumors. They locked up Vladdy. They've started winning a lot of ball games. And like I've talked about a few times before, like, I really like their vets. Like, I think they've got a good group of veterans that I want to believe in that. I'm interested to see the next steps for St. Louis. Another shoe could be dropping. The offensive stats are still there. There was a little smoke and mirrors to it, or it felt like, or nobody really believed. They've got 4 with Milwaukee, as those 2 teams are now jousting for second in the Central. I want to see what happens.
Cardinals, Twins both had the 12-game winning streaks, which obviously boost their record a lot. I'd like to, we got to follow along and see how consistent they can be going into the deadline, because that'll dictate what they do.
And how about Best Western? Today's episode is sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. And I'll be honest with you, they kind of became part of the family this year. We did our Cubs opening day trip, and we stayed at the Best Western outside of Wrigley, which I would recommend literally anyone to stay. That place was electric. Best Western has been with us. They're doing stuff with Jolly and the We Got Ice Boys. And you know why they make it easy? Because they have 4,000 hotels worldwide. So wherever we need to go, I think Louisville, outside of Savannah, like, Best Western is there. So whenever you need them, go to them. Whenever life takes you down a crooked road or a different path, take it, find the Best Western. You're going to like it. Or book something. It's summer. So whether you're traveling solo, your friends, or the entire roster, Best Western has you covered. Pack a bag, get the playlist going, and hit the road. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. Can I tell you about some American League Baseball?
Please, Coach.
In the American League, the battle for Ohio. Are you kidding me? Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Guard Dogs. And the Reds get it done. Andrew Abbott, I tried to tell y'all, he goes complete game shut piece. Jake Fraley flying around and hitting homers. Trev, I know we said this in a complimentary way. We need to stop saying it's really good that Cleveland didn't get swept because that means you're just losing series. But hey, they don't get swept. There you are, Logan Allen. And Carlos Santana, another salami. You pay, he plays. Speaking of he plays, Trev, we are getting stiff in Boston because it's Roman season. Roman Anthony is up. And welcome to the league, kid. Little ball rolling through under his glove. Welcome to the show. You know what? He redeemed himself because he had a 2-run double that won game 2. And then he hit 2 homers in his third game as the Red Sox won 4-3. Hello. Let's see what this kid is about. Your guy, Jake Mangum? 4 hits in that first game. Magnum Condom Studios, excuse me. We'll talk some Sox, kid. They're about to play the Yankees again. Trev, we got to talk some Halos. What's their record since Swilly joined John Boy Media? Because they just swept the A's. Jose Soriano, how's 12-punch ticket for you? Joe Adell, is he the best player in baseball or the worst? Depends when you go to the stadium. He has been the best lately. Nolan Chanuel, walk-off single, and he got robbed, dude. My guy, Denzel Clark. If you like center field defense, you got like a new favorite player. That's the only thing going well for the A's right now. The Texas Rangers take 2 out of 3 from the Minnesota Twins, and it's because they scored 16 runs in each of those games. I'm seeing Evan Carter in the box score. I'm seeing Josh Young. I'm seeing Wyatt Langford. This should be Texas. You hear the frustration in my voice. Byron Buxton with the big second game, along with David Festa to split the set. Like we told you, Tigers and Orioles are winding down as we record this right now. They've split 2, Torkelson homer, and Sawyer Gibson Long with a nice outing. Zach Eflin, will he be a deadline guy? Cedric Mullins, will he be a deadline guy? They all had big second games. My Yankees, they're facing Kansas City. They've won the series. They won the first 2 games because Max Fried is the stopper of all stoppers. Maybe that's what Atlanta's missing. Another 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Austin Wells, look what he's doing amongst the catchers. He's on pace for 27 homers, 100 RBI. Clark Schmidt with a great... Oh, yeah, and Trev, Aaron Judge hit a home run to a part of the ballpark that I don't think anyone's ever been before. He almost left Kaufman. And, 4 homers in 3 games if you care about that. And then the Houston Astros fighting right now. They lost the first game to the White Sox. We love Shane. In this house, we love Shane Smith. Luis Robert with a homer. The second game, Astros rolling. Christian Walker, Paredes, you know the deal. Yainer Diaz. That's where we're at. That's what happened in the American League.
Pop, I got to be honest with you. Couldn't hear a thing you said right there.
Okay.
So
good.
I'm excited. I have the standings if you want them.
Yeah.
You do. You always want them. I always had to ask, though. That's how it goes in 2025. We'll start in the American League Central because that's my division, Jake. The Tigers, by the way, are winning, I believe, 4-0 against Baltimore as we speak. Parker Meadows with a 3-run homer. They are 44-25, probably going to be 45-25. That would put them at 20 games over 500. They're 7.5 games up, about to be 8 games up on the Twins, who are 36-32. Cleveland 35-32. Kansas City right at 500, 34-34, and then the White Sox 23-45. Your Yanks right now 41-25, 4 games in front of Toronto, who's 38-30. Shout out Toronto. Okay, the Jays, the Rays at 36-32, 6 games back. The Red Sox 34-36. They've kind of been middling all year long. Like either go on a run or don't. This is sick of it, Boston. And the Orioles 27-39. Out west, my oh my, how quickly this happened again. I think we're so numb to it that we don't even really think about it anymore. But all of a sudden, the Astros are 7 games over 500, 4 games up on the Angels. That's insane. 37-30 for Houston, 33-34 for the Angels. Yes, Seattle's also tied with them at 33-34. The Rangers right behind them, 33-36, and then the A's 26-44. The A's have been unwatchable as of late, besides Denzel Clark. Those are the wild card as well. Forgot about that. Okay. As you mentioned, Toronto 2 games up for the first spot in the American League wild card. They're 38-30. Minnesota and Tampa Bay tied there at the end, with Cleveland a half game back, Kansas City 2, and then the Angels, Halos 2.5 games back along with the Mariners. Those are the standings in the American League. Pop, I got to be honest with you, there's not a lot. It's not a meaty AL for us.
It's not a meaty AL, Trev, and it can get you excited for the Yankees maybe sweeping as they tee up for another Red Sox series. The Battle of Ohio doesn't get you going. I mean, that's every time that happens, Chris Rose has his annual sex appointment. Well,
it was Terry Francona going back to Progressive Field for the first time, so that's fun. He gets a big win in that. Some stuff came out about my guy Wade, definitely not my guy, about Wade Miley today. So you know how I feel about all of that.
I know.
Big one here for me is Andrew Abbott doing it, man. Obviously, complete game, 9 innings pitched, only 3 hits. Look at his stats. We had a discussion on Baseball Today talking about the Reds rotation and, just how underrated they really are.
Yeah.
Lodolo ends up getting banged around in that last start, 3 1/3 innings pitched and 6 earned runs. But when they are going right, Nick Martinez has been great this year. Abbott has been great this year. Lodolo and Hunter Green, when he's been healthy, he's been great. Like, they have a real recipe here. If they can find consistent offense, and this seems like it's our annual am I stoked on the Reds or not part of the season.
I want to be so stoked on the Reds, but right now in the National League, if you want to be stoked on the Reds as a part of this season, you either have to believe in them to be better than the Cubs, which I don't think anyone does, or the Padres or the Phillies or the Giants. And so it's sometimes it just feels like bringing a knife to a gunfight. And I want to really like the Reds, but they have to show so much more.
Just more consistency, because every once in a while they go through a series and they just look great.
Right.
Like, consistent, good at bats up and down the lineup. They have the superstar there in Ellie De La Cruz. And then they'll go for, a week or so and they just look like a completely different team. Fundamental mistakes on defense, cold offensive streaks. So I guess my one plea to Cincinnati, to the Reds, is find some consistency. I want to believe in you. We all do. That's it.
Okay. Let's go Reds to Red Sox. And by the way, Cleveland out of the playoffs right now. We got a little chummy with our Cleveland's there every year, and they operate different. Negative run differential. They're heading the wrong way. The whole AL Central is, Trev. Outside of your Twins, baby. Hey,
I don't know. They're not too hot right now.
Yeah, they are not hot either. They're in the wild card though, as of today. You want to talk about Big Roman Anthony at all? What you got?
I do. I mean, his first game was insane. I mean, he had a tough one. It was I mentioned this on Baseball Day, about as tough as it gets, but understandably so. Like very, very nervous. The ball goes under his glove. By the end of the game, he was allowing Rafael to have anything he wanted. It was like Kelly Leak out there in the outfield, like, just get out of his way. Let Rafael take the ball, man. But again, like, how people don't understand how nervous this guy is. Even though he doesn't look like it in the box, he does look pretty stoic. I mean, he's in Fenway, people. Fenway is a daunting place to play, even if it's your home park, man. But this game was nuts. This game was absolutely nuts. In the ninth, Roman comes up, actually gets a single to get him within one. Christian Campbell hits this sky-high chopper to tie the game. There's just really bad baseball played by the Rays defensively that allows this game to continue. And then finally, they end up taking the game. But it was a hell of a game one. I was watching that live with Teddy. We couldn't believe it. Everything was going. Roman had a chance to win the game, and I was like, dude, all this, like, this is going to be forgotten. He's going to start his legendary status here. It didn't happen, but he ends up getting a knock. Like you mentioned in the second game, a changeup against Pepio down the left field line. Like he looks the part, man.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. And now we're seeing in that last game, Marcelo Meyer, goes yard twice. His, I think he's 11 games into his Red Sox tenure or something like that. But he also looks the part. All three of these guys that have come up this year, Christian Campbell, I know he's tailed off a little bit, but he looks like a decent player, man. Like, he's going to be fine. And then Meyer and Anthony, same thing. They look very advanced at the plate. So maybe this gets the Red Sox going in the right direction, or maybe they still need starting pitching. And they
get my Yanks again this weekend. If they win that series again, that's an announcement to the division. I'm Roman Anthony playing right field. Trev, he in his minor league career, and this is the whole Red Sox thing, he had 29 starts in right field, and here you are in Fenway, like the biggest right field that we have to offer. Knock yourself out. So yeah, I'm no jabs from me, and especially because I'm scared of what those guys are going to turn into. And Abraham Toro,
yes,
hot, and hot. We're a Toro pod.
Why isn't Jarren Duran? That's a great point by you. Why isn't Jarren Duran playing right field?
Dude, they somehow. Okay, I want to say this in the nicest way possible. They have so many bodies, and yet at the same time, Toro, who respectfully has become the best player in baseball, so that's fine. But there's still room in this lineup for, I'm seeing a lot of Romy Gonzalez. I don't know that. Boston,
I'm just saying, you're right about right field there. It's massive. Right. There's a weird spot in right center, the pesky pole, and then the monster. I guess that's not easy to play that either, but you don't have to have the range. Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Duran's kind of one of those Corbin Carrolls that you're like, hey, if you're that fast, why aren't you just a little better at the outfield? And then I don't know. Some people get weird about playing off the monster, which I don't know, dude. It's a big wall. Get the ball after it hits it.
Dude, it's not that easy. You see guys go in there for the first time and play, and they go down in batting practice and go take balls off the wall. You watch the first like 5 or 6, and they're nowhere near.
Yeah, I mean the
there's
walls,
different. I mean it's actually insane to think about the monster and all the different. There's not different surfaces. I guess there are different surfaces. There's the scoreboard. There's the ladder. There's a part of the wall that bounces one way, bounces the other way. Like there's a lot of intricacies to playing the wall for sure.
I don't want to fully downplay it. It's obviously not that easy, but it's also like, part of your speech there is play, it might hit the ladder. Like, okay, if it hits the ladder, go get the ball. Like, you shouldn't be catching it off the ladder.
It doesn't really ever hit the ladder though, which is crazy.
Right? I think we had one this year. I might have to have Bobo check on that one. Baseball fans, it's baseball season and it's DraftKings season. With every at bat and every inning, there's the road to October that is happening before our eyes. Next thing you know, we're going to be streaming on the couch, do or die with every pitch in the postseason. And until then, why don't you join us at the DraftKings Sportsbook? Find a bet you like, because if you're a new customer and use code JMBaseball, you bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets. Walk-off homers, pitch speed, whatever you're into, DraftKings has it. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use the promo code JMBaseball. Bet just $5 on any wager. Get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Promo code JMBaseball only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Trev, like you mentioned, not the juiciest. I guess if you want to do AL West, like I always like hearing your thoughts on the Twins series and my Rangers actually hit. But dude, we've quietly done some like baby snaps for the Halos. They could be the second place Halos come June 12th.
Joe Adell. Like their lineup has been producing up and down. And they're, in this series, they had some really nice starts. Soriano looked really good, and even Hendricks. So they have the ability to win some games. I had Swilly on Baseball Today yesterday, and she was, talking glowingly about this team. But she also had the most level-headed Angels take I'd seen on, usually I'm dealing with the internet with that.
Right.
Them getting mad at us. And she's like, we're not going to win the World Series this year. We should still look to trade some of these guys that we brought in on 1-year deals. Kenley Jansen should not be on our team past the trade deadline. I was like, dude, that's a very level-headed take. Like, I get it. Part of me always wants a team to go for it, but there are times where, like we talk about, these organizations sign guys to 1-year deals with the aspirations of them performing well and then them trading, and they get something out of it. It's kind of what happened here with the Angels. I guess my hope for them is, and this is just because maybe I'm a sicko, I hope they get red hot and they get like 10 games over 500 and just see what happens to the deadline. Can't wait.
Hey, 7-3 in their last 10. Joe Adell's 1.2ing since May 25th. Why? And Reed Detmers finding it. Second.
They're going to put him back in their rotation, Jake.
I know, right?
He hasn't given up a run in like 14 outings in the pen. You found something that he does really, really well.
So now let the starting pitcher start.
Rotation.
It's bold.
I don't get it. I maximize his value. I understand that, but I think his value is higher than it's ever been right now. Besides his rookie year when he threw a no-hitter.
A's have lost 23 of 27. Trev, close it out. Whatever you've got on Texas and your Twinnies.
I mean, they beat the crap out of the Twins for 2 games, essentially. Yeah. Simeon Woods-Richardson, he comes up because Pablo Lopez goes down and he gets hit around. Festa actually has a really nice game. We lost Pablo Lopez and Zebby Matthews and had to bring up Festa and Simeon, and it just wasn't great. I mean, they crushed the ball. Bailey Ober, he's been dealing with some stuff. He hasn't been as consistent as he's been. He's lost some velo on his fastball, got touched up here. But I'm happy for the Rangers. Like the bats came alive for 2 games, and it's kind of like more indicative of what we thought this team was going to be. But right now, the Twins, they're going to be searching for some wins, man, because that rotation took a huge hit, and that was what they were leaning on over the last month and a half.
Hey, I try to tell myself to not believe in the Rangers because of how bad the hitting was, but dude, Simeon's going nuts. Like seeing Evan Carter on a baseball field doing things again. Like I think the stat is 25-4 when they score 4 or more runs. They can do that almost every night.
They're there too, Jake. How far back are they in the AL West? There's only 5 games back, right?
Dude, they're in it in the West, and they're 3.5 games out of the wild card. So if the light bulb goes on for them, they can still very much be a part of this season. So I guess that's me revealing to the people I'm not out on my Rangers yet.
I love it.
Trev, God, I still love you. You could say it back at any point, but we'll figure it out. But mostly, I love standout performances.
It's time for Standout Performances. Standout Performances.
Standout Performances.
This guy stood out for Trev.
Okay. See, it got me today.
The squeaky noise at the end, I'm always like, what's going on there? I went with Isaac Paredes because I knew we weren't really going to talk about the Houston Astros. He went 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 2 runs driven in on Wednesday. And he's just picked up any slack that was left over from Bregman leaving. This year, he's done so well for them. Pretty much a career year. You know, he had a decent year there in 2023 with Tampa, where he put up a 4.2 WAR season. But this year, man, he's hitting 254 with a 350 on base percentage, a 468 slug for the 818 OPS, 14 homers already. He's driven in 41. We knew that he was going to like the Crawford boxes. We understand he's taking advantage of that, but that's what they counted on. So, like, I love when off-season signings kind of just work out the way teams thought they were going to work out. And it's pretty much exactly what Houston wished for when they signed Isaac Paredes, is what he's doing right now. So I want to give him a shout out. He's looking really good. 2.1 WAR already on the year.
Yeah, man. Paredes, it's cool when a plan works. This guy pulls the ball. We have a short portion left. Boom. It's working. Dude, the Astros, I know we've been spinning around this, but there's going to be a day when Yordan comes back. They currently have 6 starting pitchers listed in their rotation. So it's like, okay, so they have depth. They're on top of the West. They're missing one of the best hitters in baseball. They have room to add a lefty hitter, which I think there's a few options for them that fit really good, whether it's an O'Hearn or Brandon Lau or someone like that. Houston's present. And that left side of the infield has been, I mean, almost for their offense, all of their success.
Yeah, Pena's been incredible. I don't know when we were talking about him earlier, but I was just trying to give him some love, and people were also hating on that. There's a lot of hate going on, Jake.
We got to stop the hate, Trev.
At least ELE. Everybody love everybody.
Need more of it. Maybe I'll watch Semi-Pro tonight. That's just a good movie.
That's so good.
Everybody love everybody.
When he's calling for the ball and then just keeps passing it back right away.
That's, they don't make comedies like that anymore. Like, that's just a good. There's so many good scenes in there when he calls him the Jive Turkey, JT. Nobody called anyone a JT. I know you slept with Mr. Pepperfield. All right.
SNC, I'll murder your family.
That's when humor was humor. That was before this version of the internet, Anyways, Trev, great standout.
Thank you.
I went with an interesting one because there's a couple touch points here. I went with Jesus Luzardo because he had 2 of the worst starts back-to-back like ever recorded. I think it was 21 earned runs in 2 back-to-back starts. He comes out, he goes 6 innings, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 10 Ks against the vaunted Cubs offense. And the Phillies came out and said, hey, yeah, we think he was tipping his pitches and we think we fixed it now, which For me, that's always an eye raise because that's something that I know you get into. I know our guy Jambino gets into. And I just think sometimes that's very real. And normally, you can find it. I think other times it's just a little psycharoo. And there's a chance that's what's going on here.
I mean, I was going to go look at, I saw them talk about this. I was going to go back and look at the games, and I looked at who he started against, and it was the Phillies were the first bad blow-up start for him. So I decided just to ask a guy that's on the Phillies, or on the Brewers, me. That's what I mean, yeah. The Brewers were the first blow-up start. So I just was like, let me ask somebody that's on the Brewers. So I asked him. I said, hey, man, Luzardo did this. He said he was tipping. Like, what'd you guys have on him? And the response was, we didn't have shit. So sometimes it does. Yeah. Sometimes you find something, which is probably good for him that he found it, but it might not, the team might not have had it. I'm not saying that he wasn't tipping something.
Right.
But just because you're tipping something doesn't mean the other team found the tip.
Right.
Maybe he found something, cleaned it up, and he just, like you said, put him in a better mental space.
So you're texting with Jackson Churio, huh?
Me and Sal Frelick have gotten real close, hasn't it?
Well, I think it is funny. You've got a few allies on that team, so that'll...
yeah, you don't know who it is.
People will get it down to a few options, but we don't know. We'll never know. Maybe it was the manager, Pat Murphy. Trev, there was a lot of standouts, man. We had a bunch of complete games. I love when the guys do that. Marcelo Meyer in the 2 homers, Nimmo in the 2 homers. But I think there's going to be a great crop of En Fuego.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
En Fuego is brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Talkin' Baseball. Trev.
I was going to read that, man. I had it up, Pop. You stole it from me. Let's talk about our guy, Evan Carter. Ooh. Against my Twins. Went 7 for 12. A double, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in, 6 runs scored because they scored 34 runs in the series. So somebody had to score the runs. Evan, all right, good for you, though. Josh Naylor, 8 for 12, 2 doubles, a homer, 6 runs driven in. He hit a walk-off grand slam. It's the first one since Ryan Roberts. How about that name? Love that. In 2011. It's his second career grand slam and his second career walk-off homer. Ding, ding, ding. The bell has sounded for Willie Adames. He's back, people. 5 for 11, a double, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. They need him in the worst way. They really, really do. They've been winning a lot of one-run games, but Willie needs to come and be an offensive force for them. Great series for him. Our guy, Ian Happ, still owe you a bottle of wine. 4 for 12, a double. How many homers, though? 3. Only 4 runs driven in, 5 runs scored. But 3 homers in a series, that'll get you on En Fuego. He actually does not hit well against the Phillies, and specifically, I believe, in their park, but he's bucking that trend for sure. Speaking of bucking, my guy, Manny Machado, leader, OG in the game of baseball. He went 11 for 30 this week, a double, 3 homers, 10 runs driven in, enough for me to call him my Corona Player of the Week. On Tuesday, he matched a career high with 5 runs driven in. In June, he's gone off. 378 average. He's hit 4 homers, 14 runs driven in for the 1 daughter OPS. He's hitting 344 on the road this season. That's best in the NL. He's hitting 364 with 2 outs this season. That's also best in the NL. So shout out my guy, Manny Machado. A couple more just absolute studs to go through this week on En Fuego. Ronald Acuna Jr., 10 for 27, 3 homers, 5 runs. Or 5 runs driven in. Mookie Betts goes 11 for 28, 3 doubles, a homer, 2 runs driven in. He's not chasing anything out of the zone on pitches above 95 miles per hour. That's the weirdest stat I've ever read in my life. Here, I'm going to read it to you, just verbatim. Right. Betts has chased 9.9% of pitches out of the zone on high 95 mile an hour plus pitches this season. That's the lowest in the National League. I don't even know what that means. Let's move on. Nolan Arenado went 10 for 29, 2 homers, 7 runs driven in on the week. And now I'll give some pitchers who absolutely shoved. Talk about the Angels. Talk about guys. Yusei Kikuchi went 7 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk for the W. Sandy Alcantara went 6 innings pitched with no earned runs, 6 Ks. It's his first outing of 6+ shutout innings since August of 2023. Quinn Priester. I feel like that's a great name. It's a good baseball name, just a good name in general. From Milwaukee, he goes 6 innings pitched, only 1 earned run with 7 Ks. And then another Angel on this list, Jose Soriano, goes 7 innings pitched. How many Ks? 12. That's a career best for him in 7 innings. He threw a career high 110 pitches during that game. And then Led Zeppelin had a great start for the Orioles against the Tigers. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run with 5 Ks. Jake, those are the guys that are in Fuego. Those are the pitchers who shove. Please tell us who's struggling.
Man, Quinn Priester, that kind of sounds like an 80s band name or something.
It's a good name. It's a good name.
So
Quinn is a decent name. Like, I feel like you would try to bully that guy because that's who you are. But Quinn, I feel like I like it.
I think I'm in on it. And dude, how about we're on Sandy watch again? That could become a big part of the trade deadline. And if you like the sand, then you like Corona and you like baseball, and it all goes together perfectly. So the moment that we all skip opening day, leaving work, except us, because that's what work's turned into. So thank you, everyone. Till the last pitch of the World Series, baseball is on. Any team can catch fire. We beg a couple of the teams every episode. And whatever your team is doing, grab a Corona. If you're a blowout late, early, if there's a position player pitching, who cares? It's all better with Corona. Turn the cheap seats into your own private island, or turn your couch into your private island. It's the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Crack open a Corona, squeeze in a lime, and enjoy America's favorite pastime with Mexico's favorite present time. Get yours. Order Corona.com. 21 plus. Enjoy responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. All right. Who's struggling?
Hey, man, you've been struggling lately. It's time to pick it up!
I hate seeing my guy Agustin Ramirez on here, the top catching prospect who came onto the scene hot. He's now cold. 6 for 46. That is 130. Right behind Lars Nootbaar. Man, we were riding the Nootbaar bus for a while this year. How good is this guy? 6 for 44, slugging 107 against starting pitchers the last 14 days. That's tough, because you're going to see one of them every game. Yaz, 5 for 30 for San Francisco. Brenton Doyle, man, this pod, we used to cover the Rockies. We used to cover Brenton Doyle. He's not covering pitches that are faster than 95 miles per hour, batting 135 on those. That's the lowest in Major League Baseball. And then my guy, the Crone Zone, 8 for 42. He's going to... See, this is where I feel good. We're going to get him off of this list. We're going to see him in Fuego soon enough. The other Buzz Killington segment of this show, the IL. You got to know what's going on. And hey, for Roman Anthony to get the call, that means our guy Wheelier. He's going on the IL. Oblique Trev, reach out. Send the DM. Kendall Graveman, a hip impingement. What's that mean? It feels bad, though. Matt Chapman for San Francisco, some right hand inflammation, hoping to return before the All-Star break. That's a scary one for Giants fans. He's the guy, man. You mentioned Justin Martinez. Michael Massey, we love the swing, but he's been struggling this year. Left ankle. Bryce Miller, right elbow discomfort. They're saying 4 to 6 weeks. It's his second time with this. Little scary. Let's see. Chris Taylor now on the other LA team. Left hand fracture. Patrick Bailey for San Francisco. Jeez, man. Giants, those are some staples. Nathan Lucas for Toronto on concussion. Cole Reagan's left rotator cuff will be out till the second half. That's a scary one. Returning from the IL. Maybe I should have given that Marlins Rockies series more love, because Yuri Perez is back in the building. Okay, Fish. Sandy's twirling it. Yuri's back. Kurtz, Nick for the A's. He came back. Lane Thomas for Chris Rose's guard. Cedric the Entertainer and Jordan Westberg for Baltimore. And Lucas Urseg trying to lock down the back end of those Kansas City Royals games. And Trev, I know we've had a week. This week's been a month. But let's start off everyone's weekend the right way.
Awards!
And Trev, this one's from us, people. We're going to the All-Star Game this year. We're doing our annual All-Star Game event. We would love to have you guys there. If you're going to be in Marietta, Georgia, or if you live down there or you're visiting, it's during the All-Star Game. We've done it every year. We've got some general admission tickets on sale. We're doing it at Glover Park Brewery in Marietta. There's a food truck. So if you're around, shop.johnboymedia.com to get your tickets now. We have regulars that show up to this event. It's kind of a baseball. It's a baseball orgy, for lack of terms that I should be saying. So we, if you're down there and you can come through, it's
not a baseball orgy.
What? How should I be describing it? I should stop telling people that.
I think so.
I've been going on Craigslist.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how your week usually ends, but
I've been going on Craigslist and telling everyone we're having a baseball orgy in Marietta. Trev, who's your award?
Oh, God. All right. I'm giving the Anonymous Award. And I know you talked about this a little bit on Wake and Jake, but there's an article that gets written every year where reporters will go ask guys in spring training questions. You're supposed to give one answer. There's no right or wrong. It's just your opinion. And everything you say is anonymous. And they ask funny stuff. The first one I think people will like. There's some funny stuff, some things that are serious. I think this one's kind of serious. What hitter would you least want to pitch against in Game 7 of the World Series? In my mind, the guy that won it is kind of the guy that I would be thinking about. But Juan Soto overtook a couple of the big names. Aaron Judge was third. Ohtani was second. And then maybe if I had a little bit more time to think about it, Yordan might be the guy that I actually choose. I think he is the guy I would actually choose. If I was answering this question, I would go Yordan. What say you, Jake Storiale, on that?
I think the answer is Soto for me. Trev, I know this is a trigger word for you, but Foolish Bailey, the way he described it, and I think he's going to be at our All-Star again, so it's going to get physical. Bailey described Juan Soto as the hitter that is the best at not getting out. When he's right, that's just what he's the best at. And I don't know, when you just view it through that lens, it's like, yeah, man, there's sometimes that dude, pitchers can win almost every at bat. Pitchers can and should win. And Juan Soto, there's a lot of times that's not an option.
It's a really good at bat. He doesn't have like a ton of swing and miss, which I think is really important in that situation. That's where people will go and say, okay, maybe Judge at times has swing and miss. Maybe Alvarez at times has swing and miss. I have watched Yordan in the playoffs a lot and just know that he's an absolute dog in those situations. So I'm a Yordan stan, but I understand why people would say Soto for sure. The one that really was funny to me was about managers and organizations.
Yes.
Thought this was really funny. So let's go good first, then we'll go bad, then I'll let you give your award. Which manager, aside from your own, would you most like to play for? And the old dogs took it here, man. Bruce Bochy goes number 1. Terry Francona goes number 2. I don't really understand that, other than I feel like guys know their managers, right? Like sometimes people don't even know. Like I promise you this. If you went and conducted this poll and said, hey, dude, name all 30 managers in the league, guys would not be able to do that. They're so focused on what they're doing. So I think name recognition is good, but also those two guys, I feel like are players, managers, have their backs, a little bit of old school, and there's still a lot of that in Major League Baseball clubhouses. So I thought that was cool. Stephen Vogt got third, and probably because a lot of players played with him. Right.
So that was funny going through the article. And yeah, again, that's Trev, how I've made logic of it in my head is like, I go check it out on The Athletic. Like for us, we're kind of promoting their article. Yes, we're sharing some of it. But go check it out because they actually broke it into like 4 or 5 different articles, and there's a lot of good reading in there. The managers were funny, and it is one of these weird, I think it's a spring training player vote, and just, guys' heads are in very different areas. That I think one of the quotes on the managers, I think Ali Marmal, our guy, got one of the managers you'd least like to play for. And one of the quotes was, I don't really know, man. I guess someone in our division. How about that dude in St. Louis? So like he didn't even have his name, but Ali Marmol got the vote there. I did like seeing that the old dogs, they just have respect, and I think
Yeah.
Trev. I know this might be impossible to do, but like if you went back to 2014 and I asked you like, hey, if you didn't have your manager, like who's the manager you'd get to pick to play for? Do you have an answer? It's a tricky question.
2014. So I was playing.
Over your playing career.
I was playing for Ron Gardenhire still. I believe after that season, he got released. Okay, so I was still playing for him. It'll be Jim Leland, 100%.
Who?
Jim Leland.
Oh, yeah. See?
Yeah.
I think he got votes this. I think he got votes in this poll.
So that's what I want to end my award on. I'm not going to give away the manager aside from your own who you would not want to play for. There's a couple guys at the top there. But poor Gabe Kapler got mentioned in this article.
Yeah.
Who are the three guys that said Gabe Kapler to this question? That's what I want to know. What's going on with that? Are they former players of his?
Stop hiding.
I need to know that. We need to get in here and get rid of the anonymous aspect of this. I need to know who mentioned Gabe Kapler 3 times here. Go check the article out. I know it's behind a paywall, but if you subscribe to The Athletic, which I always tell people, I think it's the best subscription you can have for sports following. But yeah, funny article. I think that it would be fun for us to do this too at some point, whether that's like anonymous fan polling or we do it ourselves with players too.
Okay. Well done, Coach Trev. I'm giving out. I feel like I've been doing a few recurring awards, and maybe I just make it all up in my head because just reading and talking about players 3 times a week, you never really know. I'm giving out the Some Guys Break the Mold award, and I've either phrased it the same way or I've danced around it to get to the same point of my guy Alejandro Kirk on the Toronto Blue Jays. Alejandro Kirk listed 5'8", 245. Do what you want with that information. And then, by the way, if you know someone in your life that is around those stats, think about them playing catcher in the major leagues because that's what he does. And by the way, he has started to go nuts. And if you remember, he signed an extension before the season. It was 5 years, 85. That I don't know, Alejandro Kirk. It seemed a little odd because he had a couple subpar offensive years. He's one of the game's elite pitch framers, where his size actually does help him there. Trev, he has been raking over the last series. 9 for 15. That's a 9 for 15, 600 batting average, 2 homers. If you zoom in on those splits a little more, in the month of May, he went 365, 430 on base, and 849 OPS. In the month of June, it's 9 games so far, 447, a 711 slug, 1.172. He has been balling out. It's part of the reason the Blue Jays have gone on this run that has made them the top wild card team in the American League. And Trev, it was something that as we were getting into this, I remember Alejandro Kirk was coming up and me and Jimmy's eyes lit up like, wait, you're telling there's a guy who's our height, weighs a significant amount more, and he's like a real prospect. A guy that's now gotten paid. And in his scouting report, we started scouring, and it was just a really delightful line that stuck with me. He said, some guys just break the mold. Like you show up at the scouting combine, and not a lot of people would start with Alejandro Kirk. I'll tell you who loves to have him right now, the Toronto Blue Jays. Because he has given them some strength up the middle, and the bat has caught back up. He's in 325 on the year, man. It's what? What? I love him.
He leads all of Major League Baseball in hitting with 2 strikes. They found the recipe up there right now, and obviously he's a big part of it. This is a big Mexico episode. We shouted out Isaac Paredes. You shouted out Randy Rosarena. Now we got Alejandro Kirk. Okay.
Kirky. God, he has been tearing it up. Toronto's in the mix. They've got offense. They've got bullpen. I don't know. I'm in on it. And I'm in on you. Everyone, enjoy your weekend.
Yeah,
Have a little baseball orgy with the squad or whatever you get into. Summer's here.
Jake sucks. If you wear a pineapple shirt to our event, I'll give you some credit. Because I found out if you wear pineapple, it means that you want to have an orgy. I think. Something like that.
I think pineapple is like the international swingers symbol. I think.
You would know more than me.